finally got put together, but it was kind of last minute, so I couldn't give anybody any warning. I will be uploading the video though, so that everybody can watch. Best of 3 for the quarterfinal for Sunday Casual 38. Just actually had a crazy set, best of 3 against Kincaid. So we're gonna go ahead and go live, and this is the match. This is the Heroes format. Heroes format. Starting off really strong here with the supply bot. That's gonna be really, really helpful early on. Doesn't quite change too much. I'm considering that he is going to get a trade bot, so the amount of scrap in each deck is actually going to be really similar. Dommola, for those who don't know, is the #1 lifetime ranked player at level 86. 87. Oh, he went up another one. Okay. He just keeps going up. So, but yeah. #1 ranked player, lifetime. And we're going to see how it goes. I have a lot of matches against Dommola. Wow, what a turn. What a turn. He actually gets that missile bot come up. That's pretty good for him. That's going to be pretty frustrating for me. But we're going to, we're going to make the best of it. So here we have a couple options. Barter World and Blob Destroyer are the two options, in my opinion here. Blob Destroyer kind of like cuts my deck and says, you know what, I'm going to need damage. And then the Barter World says, you know what, I need a little bit of buying power, which would also stymie him a little bit. But the Barter World also feels a little bit weak right now as far as a buy, because he's going to be able to kill it if he factions off Missile Bot with Trade Bot. He's still got 4, so he's going to take Blob Destroyer if I take the Barter World. So I don't want to give him the ability, like, I don't want to take like a passive play. I mean, people play this different ways, right? You can either play passive or aggressive. So here I have an option. I'm choosing my deck archetype. The other option would be to take 2 Explorers and then see what he does. I would assume that he would take the Blob Destroyer because he's going to scrap down to damage. So my pull here is to take the Blob Destroyer, get the 6 damage in my deck. There's 2 other 6-cost cards here that I could get fortunate enough to get. And it looks like that might be a very high probability here with the way my deck cycled. I have 3 here to pick up an Explorer. He's going to buy something for 4, though. Probably that Patrol Mech. Yeah, that Patrol Mech was a pretty good flip for him. Blob Fighter's a great flip for me, though. Really good flip for me. 2 out. We're going to grab that. There we go. And we'll hit him with our damage. We do get the 6. We're going to be able to take that Battle Blob. It's going to be really, really great. Him getting that Patrol Mech is really troublesome for me. That's going to be a bit of a bummer. He has a mono deck right now with 3 scrap cards, 2 scrap guarantee with 1 scrap on the way. He's going to have a really fast deck. I did get the draw and the chance for faction with Blob Destroyer, which is really nice. And we do have 2 greens still out here. So I have options. His deck's going to be moving faster than mine. And as a result, I'm probably going to want to... like between these 2 cards, the Blob Carrier is great if it factions right, but getting that 1 extra damage with the chance to sack if I really need to, it's also pretty good. Missile Mech might be a good idea if he actually had a base. There's no real base threats out here, and I had to take one of these cards just because of the way that my deck's working. Blob Carrier would be a good pick just because I could pick up one of these other 2. He's not going to have, well, he will have the resources. So which one do I not want him to have? He doesn't have any green in his deck, right? So his chance of actually factioning off either of these is 0, and that means that the stronger card for him would be Battle Blob. He'll probably end up taking the Missile Mech. I don't have a base for him to destroy, but that does give him draw and 6, which is a little frustrating, but I need to play to my strengths and to his weakness, and his weakness is that he doesn't have any green, so if he took this, that's a 12 attack bomb. He can scrap at any time. So I want to take that from my deck. My Star Realms isn't responding. There we go. Okay. And it flips a card, a harmless card. So that's really good. That's really, really good for us. Oh, Heroes format. Heroes is the format here. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. No heroes so far, Cunning Captain showing up, but no scrap heroes so far, and that was a very different story in the previous series I played against Kincaid. That best of 3 was quite different, I'll say. And yeah, so far, I'm not really sure which way this is going to go. I feel pretty confident with the amount of attack I have in my deck. It's much higher. His deck is going to just cycle that much faster than mine. But at the end of the day, he's cycling down to what? He's cycling down to 2 damage here, no damage here. I'm talking primary, right? And then the option for 5 damage here. If we include, even if we include secondary damages, that's 4 damage, right? He's got 4 damage there. So he's trying, he'll need to figure out what he wants to take, or the Blob Carrier, the Missile Mech, and who knows. There's a 3-minute stream delay just to prevent me from any shenanigans, prevent me from seeing or accidentally accessing any information from chat or otherwise when I should not be able to. Also, chat is disabled. So if you guys are talking or saying anything, I'm going to be unable to. I do need to pull up Facebook, though, so that in case he has to message me. Just to make sure. In case there's any issues, I'll make sure that's going to be all right. I do know that he is at work, so that certainly may play different roles in this game. Him being at work, you know, I'm sure that some things might come up. They're going to make it difficult for him to play. If that doesn't end up being the case, you know, I'm sure he'll send me a message and just say, you know, hey, you know, can't do it. Sorry. Whew. Yeah, so far kind of an interesting game. Not taking the Barter World, I think, was a correct play to make right now. If I had Barter World instead of the Blob Destroyer in my deck, you know, that card would have come up, but it just wouldn't have been that good. He does end up taking the Barter World. Gives us 5. 5 with that flip of the recycling station is pretty awesome. Now here, I need this to trade out, but I gotta scrap something when I play it. And I need 4 for the recycling station. Do I want to save 1 scout? See, I'm a scout scrapper, for those who don't know. I scrap scouts almost exclusively. There are very rarely situations where I don't. I have plenty of damage in my deck, so this might be a situation where I do scrap a Viper. The reason being is once I play this 4 and take that recycling station, if it flips a Blob Fighter, I want to be able to buy it. If I can't buy it, it's not the end of the world. An Imperial Fighter flips. Normally, right here, I wouldn't want to take that. Now, because I don't want to flip him something else, right? He has this Cutting Captain that's not really doing anything for him. It would do something for him if he got Imperial Fighter. Not only that, but I do have the recycling station now to cycle a little bit faster. I have damage. This would be 2 more damage plus the discard. I'm going to go ahead and risk it and take it. We'll scrap that farther. Okay. So, kind of a strange denial. Trading post coming up is really good for me. That was a like if a cutter had come up, or if Battle Mech had come up, another missile bot, another scrap card, you know, even a battle station had come up, I would have been kind of disappointed. I would have felt like, you know, the chances of something flipping for him that was good are less than the chances of something flipping for him that's not good. So I'm okay with that play. It's still kind of, I'm sure that's probably going to be like a 50-50 split on that decision, but Cutting Captain is not going to do anything for him at all right here. I don't know why he has this. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about him, about flipping something there. I'm going to take damage into my deck. It's going to cycle faster the recycling station. Recycling station is going to help me get my damage out faster, and I have plenty of it. Imperial Fighter here is going to add damage and annoyance. It's going to be a pea shooter. But if we can get our deck down, right? If we can get our deck like really cycled and really cruising. I mean, we have 2 potential factions for draw. We have a draw on the Battle Blob. We have a draw on the Blob Fighter. So it's 2 draws, 2 cycle, and a scrap. So we have the opportunity in maybe 2 deck cycles to have a deck that's moving. Really, really moving, right? The question is, you know, can we get it to that point? That's it. Can we get it to that point before he does? Because he has 2 guaranteed scrap cards here, the Trade Pod and the Missile Bot, and then Patrol Mech. Actually, no. Okay, there's a Blob Fighter. Speak of the devil, he did end up getting that Missile Mech. That's going to be good now that I did take the bike. But we'll take that Blob Fighter. Now for 3 here, I could take this trading post, but I don't mind the trading post being out there. I'm a little bummed that I'm going to have to cycle these 2 cards. They're going to basically be a 1 draw and 2 deck shuffles just because of the way the hands worked out. I was really hoping that the Blob Fighter and the Battle Blob could connect for 2 draws, and then I'm only, then I'm only cycling out 2 for 1 instead of 4 for 1. Excuse me. Still, we're gonna cruise on this. We'll be able to hopefully get rid of that Barter World for free with our Blob Destroyer factioning off on the draw. We have, like, I feel good with our deck, but I'm very concerned about his deck at the same time. His deck's going to move faster now with the missile mech in there. It's dangerous. It's a really dangerous deck to be moving quickly. Love the art on missile mech, by the way. Really good art. Trading post isn't a big deal. Mothership and Blob Carrier being out there is kind of annoying. Just because I know that he has economy. What Dommola's done a really good job doing right here is he has economy and attack. He did end up taking the Barter World, and he does have an Explorer. Like, he has the ability to attack, but he also has the ability to buy. So we know he's gonna have the Barter World in his hand. That's a really good card for us. We can get this thing cycling. Nothing came up there. We're going to get rid of the Blob Carrier because it's the most likely card for him to be able to purchase off the trade road that's worth something. He'll get the trade pod or the freighter if he really wanted to, but he won't. He won't take those cards. He'll take Blob Carrier because now he has the Ram Pilot. The Ram Pilot's going to be sitting on the hero thing. As soon as he gets that Blob Carrier to his hand, he gets a free ship, just because that Ram Pilot's sitting there ready to faction off on the ally ability. I'm not willing to let him do that, so we are going to get rid of the Blob Carrier. Mothership would make him draw, but I just don't want him to acquire more stuff because that's going to be his issue. And as it stands there, we just don't take anything. We don't take anything. We don't have to buy anything. We want to control the trade road. And right now, there's a lot of slow cards out there. We're winning the actual fight. As it stands here, we actually might be able to just do the damage. So Battle Blob was a really good pickup for us. 8 and 4 for 12. We need 6 more on top of that. We have 3 here. And we're going to have 2 draws. 2 draws into 1, 2, and 3. 3 damage. So we have the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We would have exact damage. Assuming that if we leave the bike out too, that's exact damage. We guarantee get the win if recycling station stays out. Chances of that happening are low considering just how much he has in his deck, how much damage he has in his deck. But the amount of damage that we had in our deck, just a bit too much. This is at the beginning, right? That was the crucial words. The crucial decision was attack or passive, aggressive or passive. Barter World or Blob Destroyer. 6 damage versus the Barter World for 2 economy. And if we remember, the game is about killing your opponent, right? That is the objective of the game. That's it. That is the only objective of the game, is to kill your opponent. So you got to keep that in mind, and that's why I'm a pretty diehard scrap scouter. If every game, according to Homer Jr.'s data, if every game takes about 4.5 deck cycles, then that means you have between 2 Vipers in your deck, you have anywhere from 8 to 10 damage. So 8 to 10 damage. I don't know how many games you guys have won or lost between 8 and 10 damage, but I've lost/won quite a few. So yeah, you get different cards. Yeah, it's a butterfly effect. Yeah, you can't really know, but 8 or 10 damage in my deck that gets through a base, right, or a base wall, any kind of defensive base or outpost or anything, is worth it. It's worth it for me. So I usually favor damage because the objective of the game is to get damage in your deck. The objective isn't to have the prettiest deck. The objective is to win the game. Yeah, I'm assuming he must have gotten busy at work, or he's just really thinking about it. Either way, not a big deal. I'm okay with that. Oh. Yeah, at this point, I don't really know what options he has besides to get a really good hand, which he could. What does max damage here, right? We got 6 for max damage here, 5 here on the patrol mech, So max damage, right? 11, 4 on the missile bot. So we're at 15, 2 here for 17, 2 scraps here for 8 between trading posts and there. So what was that? 18? I gotta recount. 11, 4, 15, 16, 17, 17, and 8 for 25. So 25 is the maximum amount of damage that he could do. And that would be the best hand he possibly could get. And that would be scrapping both bases. And that means his next draw would be 5 scouts. So even if he gets his absolute best hand possible and does the most damage he possibly could do, I still come out. That was not bad for him. Getting both of those, causing the discard. You can feel a little bit of desperation, right? Oh, I'd have to draw 2 if I did this, and I don't like that. There's no way for me to get the other damage in there. Because I want to cycle with this, right? I want to cycle with the station. I think we have to cycle one more time. Draw. He's going to blow this up for free. So I should know that that's coming. So that's going to go to the bottom of the deck anyway. I want to cycle Battle Blob one more time. So I have to play this. I have to play this pretty smart. Draw 2, cycle 1. To get maximum damage here. So 14, we can take out both of these for 8. He's done well. He's done well there. So this way, see what I did, instead of using the abilities to their full, now I'm going to shuffle all of these back into my deck. And I certainly will be going all in. 12 here. 12 here from the Battle Blob coming up. That's almost a full kill. He's not going to be able to heal next time. So if I can get a good draw here, game's over. There it is. So that's probably going to be game. Unless I'm missing something. Unless a hero comes up that just does the thing and the stuff. 2 draws is really good. I'm drawing into 3 cards that could give me additional damage. 2 draw. He definitely will kill a recycling station. I mean, worst case scenario, let's say he gets 4 scouts. He could get 4 scouts. 4 scouts and a missile bot. that'd be really dumb. He just needs 1 of 2 cards out of 7. 2 out of 7. What are the odds there? Well, 2 out of 8 is 25%. 2 out of 7 is going to be slightly stronger. So what? 29%. He has a 29 to 30% chance. No, of getting 1 of those though. So it's 5 choose. It's 5 spots, 7 choose 2. Oh my god. I forget all about. I used to do that math. That was a while ago though. That was what, permutations, chance and odds. I forget. And you used to like symbolize them like PC2 or 7C2 for 7 choose 2. You could actually put that into your scientific calculator too, I remember. I wonder if I have a scientific calculator anymore. I just had the TI-83 Plus Silver Edition, mind you. So this game so far is looking pretty rough. I'm assuming that he got busy at work. But we did, I mean, I'm just glad that we were able to actually work it out so that we could play, so we could bring this game to you guys. Right now, I just don't think there's anything you can do. Battle Blob Blob Fighter, it's 2 draw. 8 and 3 guaranteed on the board for 11. He's not going to get any healing unless he buys something, which he probably will. He'll probably buy that Federation Shuttle, try to flip a hero. So, buying the cheapest thing possible to try to flip a Special Ops Director. Something that heals, just a hero that can give him instant heal. CPR, if you will. More than likely, this is gone. More than likely, the bike is history. If he gets all 3, max damage here is 11, 12, 13, 15. So 15 max damage here. That's 4 away here, 11 out, putting me at 22. I'm not going to discard any cards. If he does 22, and if he doesn't flip a saving, anything that saves him, I have the win in my hand right now. He needs to heal. He needs to heal authority, or else I just have the win in my hand. That's it. Well, he didn't get all of them. We got another draw too. We'll maximize it out. 19. That's first game down. Woo! Yeah, you know, going for that blob destroyer early on. You know, I think that was it. So we'll go here. We'll challenge the rematch. Not gonna play any of these other games. I might do that afterwards. I probably won't. All right, so we got Dommola. Here we go. Game number 2 against Dommola for this series. We have a barter world out, or a brain world. Barter world. Interesting. I'm kind of frustrated because there's a freighter out. Freighter into brain world's pretty good. And I can't afford it going first here. I do get the guaranteed scrap with the trade pod. Ah! Eureka, team. We take the battle pod for the scrap. We're going to get rid of that brain world. We're going to get that thing out of here. Bye-bye. See you later.
I don't know.
Just too much. I don't like racing for brain world. That's not my goal. I'm not interested in racing for brain world. Wow, okay. So I'm going attack. I'm going full on attack. We took the draw and we took the Imperial Frigate. I have the scrap, so my hand's going to be cycling faster than him. He's got a blob wheel because he's probably going for the brain world. Since I know that, I'm going to undercut him. So I'm going to say, you know what? You got to get a lot of economy out, which he did. He's got full on 10,000 economy, and I'm going to shut it down right now. Just pop. It's gone. It's history. Not in the game anymore. Not interested. Thank you. We're going to take 2 more Imperial Fighters. Wow. A lot of damage. We're already hitting for 11 damage. 11 damage first draw of the second deck. We have 2 Imperial Fighters here. Like, I've gone full aggro. All the damage here. We got 2. So we got 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 4 for 15. We have 15 guaranteed damage without ally abilities in our hand already. We took that battle pod just to get rid of the brain world because I'm not going to race for that. And as a result, he has empty economy in his deck. What's he going to buy with all that? What's he going to buy with it? How is he going to kill me? Blob wheel with 1, Viper with 2. He's got 3 damage in his deck. By the time he cycles this deck, I will have 45 health. By the time I cycle my deck, I have 15. He'll have 23 health. And 15 is guaranteed. 15 is guaranteed damage. That doesn't include the discards I'm going to make him do. That doesn't include the fact I'm going to, like, rail on his economy. If I can pick up that bike, whew, we're cruising. I have 3 cards on the trader right now. Like, this has just come up. This is all backs. Like, this has just come up backs. 100%. Supply bot. I'm not even going to take the supply bot. We're all in on the damage now. My goal is just to beat him to it. Any damage he takes into his deck, he's got to go through a full deck to get there. Takes the bike. Intelligent. Smart. We scrap out a scout because we're just trying to do damage. We'll take the blob overlord. We'll take another blob fighter. Jeez. We're even going to be able to ping the blob fighter right here on the blob overlord just to get the draw. With 4 up, we'll take barter world. Barter world will be we're spending like you're trading, right? Like, yeah, think about the trade. So for economy here, we're spending 4 economy to get 5 damage. 7 authority swing. 5 damage to him, 2 authority for me. That's what I'm doing with the card. I'm just taking it as a placeholder to get more damage in my deck. 5 extra damage in my deck. Because if I can beat him before he gets something like this command ship, which he could, if he draws here, he's got a command ship, and then I'm not as confident. I still think I got it. I still think I got it. I think I've taken too much damage in my deck. I'm willing to go Star Empire. I don't think a lot of people are. And if I can get a hand with 2 fighters and the frigate out at the same time, maybe I can get a Cunning Captain to pop up on the board. 4 discards. 4 discards and what? 4, 6, 6 and 8? Jeez. 14 damage and 4 discards. It could be 14 damage and 3 discards. It doesn't matter. Like, that's a game-ending hand if I can get that connection. But the question is what he can get, what his draw looks like, and what he will buy. Because for me, I mean, if I draw another scout, I take the hive instead, of course. Because that's 3 damage plus the draw, and that's what's key, the draw. Draw is the best resource in the game, besides attack, right? Because you need it to kill your opponent. But if you look at the cards, and you look at how White Wizard has, like, shaped the card values, you'll see that they give a lot of favorability to draw. The ability to draw more cards is primo. Look at Cutter versus Trade Escort. That gives you an idea. Ramp Pilot's not really going to help him here. He's got Ramp Pilot, which is a hero, 2 damage, but for what? What's he doing with 2 damage, you know? Two damage isn't going to help him. He doesn't have a blob card in his deck that Ramp Pilot will be able to faction off with. I think he's just kind of a tough struggle. War Elder coming up. There's the 5 for us. War Elder coming. Oh, and there's the 3rd blob fighter. He'll probably take that. I assume he'll deny me that. I'm not too concerned about this War Elder. He will scrap a card in his hand probably this turn. But at this point, he just cycled his deck, and the damage he has in his deck is 5. He has 5 damage that he has to choose to use versus the 2 damage and the 2 damage from Trade Bot and Supply Bot. I might be missing something pretty obvious, but so far my deck just seems to be way more potent, and it's going to be really, really strong and difficult for Dommola to come back from this. He could put up a fight because he does have a better economy, but there's not the cards out here that are giving him the release that he needs for these cards that are going to give him that economy. 2 scrap and a bike could help him cycle his deck faster to catch up. I've already scrapped out 1. I've already been triggering draw. I'm already going to start making him discard 2 cards. Same scenario as last time, right? Last game, we had the opportunity to be either aggressive or passive. We could have taken Barter World over the Blob Destroyer. I decided to be aggressive and go on the front because if I took Barter World, he takes Blob Destroyer. He takes a direct counter to the card that I just took. And so I want to take Blob Destroyer to get ahead of that decision and say, you know what, if you're going to take Barter World, we're going to cut it. That's it. Just kind of preempted a potential decision that he was going to make. Ended up working out really well for us. We just went damage straight on through from there on out. Takes Barter World, does take that Blob Fighter, scraps out a Scout from his hand. No damage. Nothing we want to take out there. Tempted to take the Battle Station. I think I will take the Battle Station. Battle Station will be 5, that's 5 damage. So when that comes up, I'm just going to scrap it. Unless I have the opportunity to sync it up with the trade bot. But his current damage in his deck is 5. That's maximum potential damage, right? Supply bot and trade bot hitting each other would give 2 and 2. Viper, combined with Viper is going to be 1 for 5. I'm still at 47. 30 authority advantage right now, going into a draw that's going to cycle my deck from these 3 cards, but going into damage that looks like, what do we got, 6, 9, and 2? 6, 9, and 2 for 11, 12, 13 damage with a draw that could draw into the win. We could draw into game victory still with 47 health, and that would be turn 12. Turn 12 on an aggressive deck. Heroes format, essentially vanilla, right? No craziness, no 1, no E, no G. Just straight up. Well, let's see what happens. I'm gonna get rid of the command chip just in, I don't know, in case there's a back-end nuttiness. We didn't draw into the win. But, I mean, he still doesn't have... He's got no damage. He'll get me down to 46. He's going to go ahead and play the bike out. Recycling station will come out. It's going to be a 4 defense. And then we're going to have the Hive, Battle Station, and Imperial Fighter. Battle Station for 5. Imperial Fighter for 2. Hive for 3 for 10 total damage, which means we're going to bust through the Recycling Station. And we're going to kill our opponent. And that'll be game. It's going to be game turn 15, it looks like. Turn 15 victory, game 2. Pretty intense and aggressive series, not going to lie. Hopefully that can maybe give some life to the ability of Star Empire. Of course, if you can stack it, but Imperial Frigate's just a good card in general. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work with your deck, just draw a card and get rid of it. Just get it out of your deck. It's a placeholder. Wow. Yeah, that deck, very unlucky for Dommola. Super, I think there's not enough being said about how unlucky he got at the same time. And how lucky and how fortunate I was. There's decision-making behind everything. I certainly don't want to diminish the victories, of course, but it's going to be a quick 2 and out. 20 and a handshake. And I'm sure maybe some distractions as well, considering he's at work. I think most of the time he plays. I think he plays a lot. I mean, he's just always playing. He's playing just constantly, right? All the time. Just play. Man, what a game. BattlePod, I'm just going to say BattlePod was the winner of this game. BattlePod won this game because BattlePod got rid of every single card that he was taking economy to get. So, primarily, it took Brain World out of the game. And that was key. That was really, really awesome. It was a good flip. We took TradeBot. BattlePod came up. We took that right away. That gave us complete control of the game from that point on. We were able to get rid of the cards he had already taken economy for. Maybe taking the freighter. I don't know. There was a freighter here on the left side. When we took that freighter, I'm not sure. Maybe there was a different decision there.